So the first one we're starting with is a little dark. I don't know why I decided to put this as the first one you're gonna see. But this is Earl, the Dead Cat Kitten Plush Stuffed Animal, Mad Dog Productions. This is from the 80s. It is vintage. I pulled this out of a plush bin and it cost me about 50 cents, maybe less for it. I took a best offer of 40. I'm pretty sure I know all the best offers I took for everything, but forgive me if I'm $1 or $2 off on some of them, but I'm pretty sure I can tell you the exacts on most of these because I didn't write them down like I usually do, so I am slacking again. But I am getting more regular on my videos, so things are moving along. But this sold for 40 and it took a few months to sell. I'm super happy with it. It's a little dark, but it's fun. I can show you the tag here. It literally says Earl the Dead Cat on the tag, so there you can identify it. Next one, I picked these up at a yard sale. It was the last yard sale we went to before we went home. And then I gave my mother-in-law the money and asked her to go haggle because I'm not a great haggler. I'm trying, but I'm not a good haggler. We picked these up for $7.50 each, and they both sold to the same buyer, in a day or two. So for $90 total, and that was a great sale. So that was 15 into 90. That was still good profit for me. And they were sitting there at the very end of a sale. This is just a Johnny Cash vinyl lot of I Walk the Line, San Quentin, Ballads of True West. So I do a lot of artist lotting on my vinyls because if I can get them for $1 or less each, then I'm still making money on them, and I'm making more money than if I were to just do them single, because the record mailers do cost money. I am not going to ship a record in a poly bag or anything, so I always will put it in a box. So this saves on shipping cost, and I did do free shipping on this one, so it's been listed for quite a while because it has the free shipping. So $5-ish to ship, and decent profit. Probably paid $1 each for these. Nothing to jump up and down about, but something. A lot of these are just paying the bills kind of sales, but my sales are picking up as I am back on my routine of listing. This is a Raggedy Ann doll. It's a Knickerbocker, and it's 30 inches. It is vintage, and I put as is read because it has some stuff going on. There's, I think, a little hole in the foot. Her dress looked like it was meant for like a 70-inch doll when I looked at it, so I don't think, it was branded Knickerbocker and branded Raggedy Ann, so in theory it was correct, but it looked terrible on her. So I just put that in the description. I just said, I don't know if this is original. I've sold a lot of Raggedy Ann and Andy, but I haven't sold the large ones, so I'm not sure what is standard for them. But I paid $7 at the Goodwill for this, and it sold for $40. So I'm good with that profit, and it took a month or two to sell. And yeah, I definitely priced it competitively because big stuff I just want moving. Some of these items I did leave money on the table, and I'm okay with that. I am just trying to get my store back to where it was before I had to shut it down for a while. And this piece I paid up for. I paid $25 for this, which is a lot for me. But it's a Nikon rifle scope with a mount. The mount definitely added the value. It was in great condition. It had some scuffing, which is pretty normal for a used rifle scope. I paid $25 for this, and I took a best offer of $190, and it sold in a couple days, if that. I don't know a ton about this stuff, but I know when it's going to be valuable. I have a decent idea. Fun fact about me, I used to compete in rifle competitions. It's been a long time since I did that, but I did. So I know a little bit, enough to stumble through. And this is a lot of 2 to kill a husband and to kill a mother-in-law. When I bought these, I brought them home and showed my mother-in-law and my husband because I am a huge jokester. But they're 1,000 piece puzzles, and they were both sealed. I paid $2 each, sold so $4, and I ended up taking a best offer of $18 because these took, I don't know, a year to sell. I just wanted these away. I didn't want to look at them anymore, so made a little bit of profit and moved them, and the buyer was very happy, so win. This is a 1986 New York State migratory duck stamp and print. And you've seen me if you've watched my videos. I've sold quite a few duck stamps. There's something we bought a bunch at a yard sale, and my mother-in-law had a bunch from her framing days. So we had quite a few, and I just have a couple left that have just kind of straggled along. Most of them sold pretty fast, but this one I took a best offer of 18. I'm gonna vent slightly about it. Does anything bother you? So does this bother you when you get a positive feedback and they leave like a backhanded little like negative in there? This person was like, it's fine, but could have been packaged better. And I was annoyed by that. So typically I don't complain about that stuff, and I just try to deal with it because it's subjective. I know how I package. I package well, I really try to. There's some times that I've definitely phoned it in, but I really try to package well, and I've sent out dozens and dozens of these all the same way. So I was just a little annoyed when you get the backhanded, but at least it wasn't a negative, so that's something. But that sold for 18 and took quite a while. That one was definitely sitting. And this is Disparity Trap board game, the unfair game of life. Look for those Kickstarter games. So the things that really didn't blow up, or not even blow up, but they're just not as, it's not Monopoly. It's not the game of life. It's not Clue. And so it's something different. This I paid $2 in a thrift store for. It was sealed and it just looked different. I didn't know what it was. So I tend to look up games that look, I'm about to say that look Kickstarter-y. In my head that makes sense, but to you guys that sounds ridiculous. But you kind of start to get a sense of games that are not super mass produced, and you can kind of figure out ones that might be valuable. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm okay at finding decent games on occasion. But it sold for full asking. Probably took a month or so to sell. This I picked up. It's Pink Floyd Pulse Live 2 cassette tapes box set with slipcase, and they were in good condition. I probably could have got a tiny bit more, but I took a best offer of 26. I couldn't believe this, and there was one other Pink Floyd cassette at a sale. It was 10 o'clock at a sale, and they were just sitting there for me to get, and I probably have 50 cents into this one and 50 cents into the other one. I think it was Pink Floyd The Wall. And just because I didn't ever get to show you it, I also picked up Pink Floyd The Wall at a yard sale, filled in with just a bunch of garbage because it doesn't quite look like a record that people would grab right away, because it doesn't just say across the top what it is. But I don't get to sell the Pink Floyd vinyl. That got taken from me. My husband very quickly took that, and I knew he was going to. I accepted my fate when I bought it. But definitely knowing things that don't quite scream buy me and resell me are good, because it was buried in a bunch of garbage vinyl. But tangent over on that, because Pink Floyd's not something I find in the wild a lot, so I had to share. He let me sell the cassettes because he doesn't like cassettes. This is a Ravensburger 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. I'm not reading the rest of it. Not going to embarrass myself. But it's sealed, and I took a best offer for 30. I think I paid $2 or so for this in a thrift store, and it sold in maybe a month or two, if that. It might have been less. So again, not all puzzles are worthless. I do have 2 puzzle videos that you can watch on my channel. You can find them I have playlists. One are my big money research videos, and I have the puzzles in there. I can link one down below too that I did specifically on Ravensburger. So I'll put that in there in the description. This is God Emperor of Dune, Frank Herbert paperback. It's just a paperback, and it's from 1982, and it sold for full asking of 25. I had this for quite a while. I think I remember getting this at a thrift store in our last town we lived in for 50 cents or $1 or something really cheap. And this was when I was doing free shipping, so it's been listed for quite a while without any interest. But I finally sold. You know, you just gotta wait for the right buyers. A lot of my stuff is long tail. I've accepted that. It's fine with me. These are an interesting one that I didn't think would be so valuable. This is hammered copper hardware cabinet door hinge. It's a set of 8. I put number 4 because I have 8 different lots of this stuff. So my mother-in-law picked up a bag of this hardware, $2 for the whole bag, and it made 8 lots of a couple different things. And I've sold this one for full asking at 20, and I've sold 2 others, one at 20 and one at 15. So that is good money off a $2 hardware bag. And you know, I didn't think hardware would sell, but I've sold some of it. I never am the one that grabs it. I'm gonna get better because it does sell the hardware. I had to show a pony. I couldn't not. I've sold a few other ponies, but here's at least one. It's a My Little Pony Generation 3 Autumn Sky 2002, and it's just Leaves Cutie Mark. $15 full asking. All my ponies I have 51 cents into. I definitely have a good chunk left, and I'm just gonna keep waiting for them to find their homes. It's just a nice, easy thing to pack and sell. This is a vintage 367 Gorham sterling silver jigger shot cup, and it's monogrammed. It was 24 grams, and we picked this up at a sale. It was 11 o'clock, I think, when we went to this small estate sale, and we have like $1 into this, and I sent out a best offer for 44. So excellent profit on that. I got annoyed because there was this guy that kept offering me super low prices on him, and I could see, like, I am totally fine selling to resellers, but if you have a full store dedicated to something and you're gonna super lowball people, maybe use a different account. Because I could look in and all he sold was sterling silver. He kept offering me 5, but I eventually I blocked him. I'm a blocker. I block a lot, guys. I'm sorry if you don't agree with that. I'm a blocker. I avoid the issues. But I'm fine selling to resellers, just not at $5 on a antique sterling silver piece. This is a men's size 12 Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star high top DC Comics Superman. Shoes are shoes. I don't like shoes. But these sold for $35. I have $7.50 into them. I'm happy I got the sale. I just don't like shoes. Give me an $8 plush to clean, but do not tell me to clean shoes. Feet are gross. You're getting too much information about me today. I thought I was gonna make it a quicker video, but it's probably not gonna be. This is The Great Hunt, Book 2, The Wheel of Time. I've told you before to look for this book and to look for this Wheel of Time series. Robert Jordan. It's a first edition, but it is a 6 printing, and I put read because it was not in great condition. There's folded edges. It was just, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't perfect. So I just wanted that to be blatantly obvious. I paid $3 at a Goodwill for this, and it sold for full asking of $60. It did take quite a while because I had to wait for the right buyer. I got quite a few low offers that I would counter, but none made it to the right spot I needed it to be. And so I just waited, and it sold for full asking price of $60. I remember diving for this book at Goodwill. Diving against nobody. Just myself. This is a vintage Elegant Cats Kitties Siamese brass bookends. I took a lower offer because someone said they were giving them as a gift, and gave me a whole thing. So it was very, very sweet, and I took a best offer of 31, so I probably could have got a little more over time for sure, but I was fine with that. Happy with that sale, and they left positive feedback. And I have too much into these. I think I have $7.50 into these. That's too much for me, but it was still profit, still decent profit. This is a 2002 Hot Wheels Cars Carrying Storage Case. It had 48 car slots, and it came with 36 cars. And I just put read as is because I will part out things, but this wasn't something I wanted to part out. There are things that I will happily part out, ephemera and plush and board games. I did not want anything to do with these cars. So I just sold all the cars that came with this. I paid $5 for this at a sale. It took a couple months to sell and sold for $30. I'm good with that. Except packing it wasn't super fun because I had to fill each little individual hole with bubble wrap, so because I don't like to hear the cars shake, but it took a while. This is a vintage Top Flight Texas adjustable hat cap, red, made in USA. I am not perfect at my titles, guys, and this shows sometimes. I just took best offer 22 just to get things moving in my store because it's been pretty stagnant for a while, but it's getting better. And that's all because of me, because I hadn't been doing my routine. But I have 8 cents into this. Most of my hats, or I did a bulk buy of hats, and I have 8 cents into all those hats I purchased through that. So 8 cents into 22 I will take, and it took a month or so to sell probably. I never want to see this thing again. I hate this thing. Everybody has an item if they're a seller that they don't ever want to look at again. This is a men's Shift Street Fighter medium leather motorcycle jacket. So I said, see pics, needs cleaning. I talked about everything in the description. And I took a best offer of 34 for it, happily, very happily. And the reason I don't like it is I've had so many people purchase and not pay for this. I've had 2 people try to scam me with this, and it's cursed, and I want it gone, and it's gone now, and hopefully it stays gone. But it was a good buy. My husband picked this up for $2 at a thrift store when they're having a big sale, so it was a good buy. It was a cursed item. There's always that one cursed item. This was on my mother-in-law's bookshelf, and she handed it to me to sell. This is a Star Trek Starfleet technical manual, first printing, 1975, first edition. And it was in pretty good condition, sold in a day or so for 20 bucks. This is one of those ones where my mother-in-law picked it out of the thrift store, and I was just like, oh, you're gonna waste our whole $1 by buying garbage. But it wasn't garbage. This is Santa Father Christmas Shawl S&Co ice cream chocolate mold. It was 4.5 inches. 427 was written on it. You can see right there. And the S&Co is there as well. And I think from the 1920s or 30s, I believe. And I took a best offer 29 for this, and she paid $1. So it was a great buy. And it's just a little thing, so it takes up no space. So perfect buy, not a waste of $1. This is a 1960 Great Lakes Vacation Cruises Georgian Bay Line travel brochure. I couldn't find anything really on this, which is pretty typical with ephemera, so I put $15 on it, and it sold in a couple days. I was super excited with that, maybe 50 cents into this. I love ephemera. Yes, a lot of it's long tail, but I have a shoebox full of it, and it takes up a shoebox of space, and it's 100 plus listings instead of all of my other stuff that takes up all the space. So I love ephemera, and we'll never say no to ephemera. This is a Living Waters Being Bible Expositions and Addresses, Sheridan Baker, from my 1889, and it was a book I picked up in my big recent book haul. I didn't show it in the haul video, but it's one of the ones I picked up. I took a best offer of 25 for this, and it sold quickly. I don't remember if I found any super similar. I think kind of similar, but not the same. Books, you just kind of have to start to, a lot of niches, you just have to kind of start to find price points that you're comfortable with. I was very happy with 25. I think that was very fair. The buyer was very happy. So it all worked out. This is a Montana Silversmith's Floral Scroll Design Western belt buckle. $29 for full asking. We bought a lot of belt buckles, and this was one of them. I paid $1 for this and sold for 29 bucks. I think it was only listed for a day or two. So I have already paid for all my belt buckle lot I bought, so everything else I can take its time to sell. I'm happy. It's just gravy. This was a really nice sale. This is a private listing lot of 6 Creative Memory scrapbook pieces. And so I gave her, I think, a 20% off deal, and then combined her shipping so that it was much more affordable for her to get all these items. So we worked out a deal, bought all 6 of these for $124 plus shipping. I bought a big chunk of creative memory stuff at a thrift store. I kind of had to gamble slightly on it just because it's a thrift store that never has signal, so you just have to hope for the best. But I paid $27 for all of the creative memory stuff I got, and here's $124. So I am very happy with this lot. This guy surprised me so much. So it's Winning Edge Designs driver head cover polar bear with fish. He's just a little adorable golf club head cover. I always pick up these plush golf club head covers, and he was worth $60. Like he was actually really kind of hard to find, and the buyer is so excited to get him. So I love getting those little surprises, because I just purchased it for $1 in the thrift store, because I always purchase these. So happy surprise. This I got in the first haul video with all the books as well, and I didn't show this either, but it's Eliminator Off the Record ZZ Top Songbook, and it was excellent condition, no writing, anything. It sold very quickly for $15. I couldn't find this exact one, so I just kind of priced it where I thought was fair and I was good with. So $15 in a day, I'm good with that. And this is a lot of 3 River Road Recipes cookbooks. I tend to pick up these River Road recipes if they are $1 or less. I got these for 50 cents each, and I lot them up. This one sold for $20 best offer. I also have sold just 1 and 2 together for $15. So I'm fine with that profit margin, and these I find relatively regularly. So we will go ahead and end it on this for this part 1, and then I will do part 2 next. And remember to write down in the comments, if you're a seller, what your favorite item you personally sold is. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.